Style is something that worries a lot of artists, so that's what we're going to be talking about here, and hopefully your fears and worries will diminish after watching this video. So first things first, focus on one thing at a time. Look up to one of your latest drawings and see what gets your attention. You don't need for every single thing in your characters to be unique. Maybe it's the way you draw eyes or hair. See what is the most interesting to you and work on that. If you work on a lot of things at the same time, it might get a bit too overwhelming for you and you end up not really improving on any. Of course, it all depends on what type of person you are and how you work better, but generally, taking things one step at a time tends to yield better results. So for example, if you want to draw the eyes a certain way and want to keep drawing them in that style, practice those until it's memorized and works for you. Another thing you can do so you can keep a consistent style in your drawings and characters is to create a series or a comic with them. It doesn't need to be something too complex, the important thing here is that you'll be drawing the same characters often. And by default, that will help you keep their design and style more consistent. You can come up with a series of drawings of your character, for example, with even a prompt list. It could be something like your character in several pin-up poses, your character playing out different actions like singing, biking, dancing, fighting, and so many others. Alternatively, you can create mini comics of your character where they go through their lives or adventures. This can even be autobiographic if you want and based on real-life situations, and again it can be really simple, something like 3 or 4 panels long, maybe even 2. This exercise will help you to not only get more consistent with your art, but will also make you a better storyteller. Even if you don't want to tell stories, storytelling can be really helpful when coming up with new illustrations, characters, and compositions. Now, the first times you draw this, you'll probably notice quite a lot of differences between each drawing or comic, but as you go, you'll see that you'll get more consistent with it, and now you can draw your character almost the same every time. But even if you're working on your consistency, either with your style or your characters, don't worry too much about it. I understand that many beginner artists worry a lot about style and that it seems to change every single day. That's normal. You're just starting and you don't need to stick to one thing. Even if you've been drawing for years, you can draw in different styles. It's not a crime and I actually endorse that. For example, I have my usual cute and cartoony style that I use in most of my characters. That's the style that you'll see most of from me. Then I do have a very simple, almost chibi style when I need to draw quick drawings, and finally my sketchy style for when I do studies. I like all of them and I feel they're unique in their own way. We all have our unique style the moment we start drawing. No one can draw the same way you do, so remember that. Another thing to have into account is that your style is constantly changing. You'll notice it more at the beginning, but even when you already know what your style is, or more exactly how you like to draw certain things, you'll see that they'll still get through some changes. They might not be as noticeable, but it will still happen, and that's good. It's a sign that you're improving and moving on with your art. You're never done with your art, there's always more we can learn and improve, so do have fun with it. Another very important thing to do to keep a consistent style is to look at the things you like about your art and do more of that. This is really important because you'll want to enjoy your own style, right? Don't draw things in certain ways simply because it's popular or because other people like it. Do what you like. I went through several eye styles. At the beginning, they were based on eye styles from artists I liked. I always had a very simple style, but I used to add some detail to the eyes, different colors, and they had more lines overall. As I went and explored more things, I realized that level of detail wasn't for me. I tried several things until I got to the very minimal and cartoony eyes I draw now, just black eyes, usually quite round and with a small white dot. At some point in my journey, I understood I wanted to take more of a minimal and simplistic approach to my art as opposed to something very detailed, and I'm very happy with what I do now, but that doesn't mean I can change my mind. Who knows, maybe one day I'll decide to go in another direction. But the important thing here is to focus on the things you like in your art, so explore that as much as you can. Finally, don't be afraid of introducing new things. Again, whatever you decide to do now with your art won't be written in stone. You can change your mind. It's your art, your decision. Draw what makes you happy, so feel free to experiment as much as you can. You draw eyes a certain way and like it? Great, let's explore that and let's experiment with it. Don't go with the first option right away. Try different things and see how can you improve it even more. What if, instead of a white dot or line, I added 2 dots to my eyes? Or what if I drew the eyes with a black iris and then another circle around them? Experiment with your style a lot until you reach the thing you really like. And most importantly, have fun with that whole process. These are my tips for this video. Like and subscribe to watch more videos like this, and as always, keep on drawing.